Have you ever looked at a tattoo trend and thought it was the coolest thing ever, only to regret it later? You're definitely not alone in this struggle. There are countless stories out there of, I wish I didn't get this, insert tattoo trend,
No air quotes.
tattoo. You have the right to choose whatever tattoo you want to get. It is your own personal choice. I'm making this video to help you make informed choices.
There's too many choices!
When it comes to tattoos, trends can be tempting, and it's very easy to get caught up in the hype. Before you jump on the bandwagon, take a step back and think, do I really want this tattoo in the first place? Are you doing it because you really love the design, or are you doing it to follow the crowd? Tattoos are supposed to be a form of your own self-expression. But when we choose trends over our own personal connection, we risk ending up with a tattoo that doesn't really resonate with us. And let's be real, getting a tattoo is a physical, emotional, and financial investment. So in this video, we're going to explore the world of tattoo trends and what you can do to avoid falling into tattoo trend traps or following a crowd. We'll dive into the psychology of tattoo trends and discuss why it's important to choose meaning over fads. Trend-driven tattoos can lead to dissatisfaction and regret years later. It's a harsh reality, but it's one that can be overlooked in the heat of the moment when you're all caught up in the hype.
Media hype. Hyping up the storm, making people all nervous.
When we get caught up in a tattoo trend, we often forget that tattoos are permanent, or at least they're supposed to be, right? With the advancement of laser removal and better tattoo cover-ups, tattoos aren't really as permanent as they used to be. But it also makes you go, hey, you need to really think out that tattoo, because depending on the tattoo that you get, it might be harder to laser remove or cover up. So these are things that you need to think about. How many times have you seen a tattoo and it kind of takes you back? And you think to yourself, man, back in the day, I used to think that was a badass tattoo.
Sweet neck tattoo.
But now you see it and it looks outdated, out of style. It's a common phenomenon, and to be honest with you, the person that has that tattoo could feel embarrassed or actually regret getting the tattoo. Or maybe not. Some people are perfectly fine with getting a tattoo on a quick decision and have no problem with it. The truth is, trend-driven tattoos often lack that personal significance. They're not a reflection of our style, beliefs, values. Instead, they're a reflection of what's currently popular or what they think others will approve of. This is especially true for people that get tattoos on a whim, without taking the time to thoroughly think through the design, the subject matter, and the placement of a tattoo. It's a recipe for disaster, and one that can lead to serious regrets or negative implications down the road. Pretty sure you can think of those tattoos I'm thinking of right now. If you want, you should check out our video for 10 easy steps for tattoo prep here, where we talk about planning with your tattoo artist your next tattoo. When working with the artist, you both can have solid informed decisions. Also, there's some other cool tips that'll help you out the day of your tattoo or the week of your tattoo. But it's not just about regret. Trend-driven tattoos can give you a sense of disconnect from your own personal, unique style. Think about a big burly biker. He wouldn't get a trendy unicorn tattoo. It's not something that fits in with his style. I mean, he might get it as a joke to laugh about it with his friends, but it's not really fitting in with his style of tattoos that he would normally get. The tattoo craft is constantly evolving, and new trends emerge all the time. From minimalist designs to elaborate sleeves, there's always something new on the horizon. But just because a tattoo's popular doesn't mean it's right for you. So why do people get caught up in tattoo trends? Well, for starters, social media plays a significant role. We're constantly bombarded with perfect bodies, perfect tattoos, perfect lives. It's easy to get swept up in the hype, and we feel like we need to keep up with the current trends. If you think about it, most people have an internal thing that makes them want to belong, to be a part of something. Another reason is people often don't have confidence in their own personal style. They're unsure of what they like or what they think will look good on their body. So they turn to tattoo trends to guide their choices when getting a tattoo. Tattoos back in the day separated this group from this group by having these tattoos. I know now that it's almost easier to find somebody that's not tattooed than it is to find somebody that is tattooed. Let's take the example of the arrow tattoo trend. A few years ago, arrow tattoos were all the rage. Everyone was getting them, from celebrities to Instagram influencers, whatever the hell that is. But now they're almost seen as cliche or overly done. Or what about the lower back tattoos on women? They became so overdone that people started to call them by a derogatory term. That term was never used by tattoo artists, by the way. In my interview with the tattoo artist Baba from LA, he actually talks about this. You can see that interview that I did with Baba here, by the way. He said during the interview, why would tattoo artists use a derogatory term for a name of a tattoo that was essentially a cash cow for them? Yet people stopped getting them because of the term that was being used and the fact that they were being overdone. The list of these tattoo trends goes on and on and on. From tribal tattoos to the affinity symbol. There are countless examples of trends that have come, gone, and faded away. But it's not all gloom and doom, everybody. There are people who have successfully avoided the tattoo trap trends, and we're here to help you. The first step of avoiding a tattoo trap trend is a well thought out tattoo. Taking the time to think about your style and working with your tattoo artist to come up with a design that suits you. Take the example of someone who gets a sunflower tattoo because it reminds them of their grandmother, or someone that gets a quote tattoo because it reminds them to pursue their passion. Now, I know there's going to be people out there that are going to say, hey, you know what? Quotes are one of those trendy cliche tattoos, but sometimes these quotes have personal meaning. I wouldn't consider that a trend. They're not driven by trends or a fad that are gonna go away as quick as they showed up and disappear like a fart in the wind.
Somebody fart.
Take the story of a woman I knew who regretted getting a tattoo of a cherry blossom on her ankle. She had never been tattooed before, and she had gotten this tattoo because it was trendy, and a few of her friends were also getting the tattoo. Years later, she realized that the tattoo had no meaning to her. It was just her desire to fit in with the crowd. She wound up having to get the tattoo removed and said that the removal process was just as painful, if not more painful, than getting the original tattoo. And it was crazy expensive to boot. So, needless to say, she had to sit through the pain of the tattoo twice and also pay for the tattoo twice. In the end, she was relieved to be removed of the constant reminder of a quick decision she made when she was younger. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not fallible. I actually had one of those trendy tattoos. It was my first tattoo that I ever got. I wound up getting a Tasmanian devil because at the time, everybody was getting these cartoon tattoos. It wasn't until probably almost 20 years later that I wound up actually covering that tattoo. I was lucky enough that it was faded enough to cover up and there were no issues. So what are the takeaways from all this? Well, it's simple. Tattoos should be your own personal expression and not following a crowd. They should reflect you and be well thought out, not a carbon copy of what's popular right now. they're a permanent mark that should resonate with us. So if you've never been tattooed, or maybe you have one or two tattoos, I'm not talking about you tattoo enthusiasts out there that have multiple tattoos. You really don't need to hear this story. But I'm glad you did. Thanks for watching. For you newbies, you should take a step back and say to yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely love the design? Or am I getting this because I'm following a crowd? They should reflect your own personal style and values instead of some flash in the pan fad. I want to hear about your own personal tattoo experiences in the comments below. Have you ever fallen for the tattoo trend trap? Or have you avoided them throughout your tattoo career? If you fell for the trap, do you still have the tattoo, or did you get rid of it or cover over it? I want to thank you for watching, and if you really liked the video and you want to see more videos on tattoo history and culture, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button so you get notified when we post future episodes. But if you really want to watch a video right now, why don't you click this video here to take you to our next video. Peace.